show. Harold's going to review some movies, Bill's going to make some camp alarms, and I'm going to turn a toaster into a CD player.
And now here's the man with the big ideas but the small budget, the high expectations but the low standards, the rising profile but the fallen arches, my uncle, your host, Red Green.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Harold. What an interesting introduction, filled with oxymoron. Which surprised me. I'd never seen you do the oxy part before.
Well, you'd be surprised what I can do.
Not pleasantly surprised. Big week at the lodge this week. Junior Singleton took all his money out of the bank and bought himself a used helicopter. Can't believe they would sell somebody a used helicopter.
Yeah, especially Junior. He doesn't even have a pilot's license.
No, but he has a bank balance, Harold. And I believe the insurance on a helicopter is a lot cheaper if you never fly it. Junior's real smart with money like that. Yeah.
Boy, it'd be great if we can get some aerial shots of the lodge for the show.
Well, I think you're going to have to get those from the aerial. A couple of days ago, Junior went down for his helicopter license test. It wasn't good, Harold. He flunked the oral test, he flunked the written test, he flunked the eye test. He went to the wrong washroom for the other test.
Well, you know, I'd look good in a helicopter, huh? Wouldn't I look good as a chopper pilot?
I see you more as chopped liver, Harold.
You better watch what you say to me, Uncle Red. You may need me someday to come in my helicopter and rescue you from a mountaintop. You know, we were to get a mountain around here someday.
Harold, if I go to a mountaintop, it'll be to jump off.
You won't jump.
Well, maybe not if you went first. Go down to the meadow a little after dark. Listen to the sound of the golden-throated, ruby-crested lark. Stand by the water with your hand cupped on your ear. Listen very closely, and this is what you'll hear.
It's extinct.
This week on Handyman Corner, we got something for you audiophiles who collect the phonographic literature, which is not what the rest of you are thinking, so save your money. We're going to make us a CD player for this, the CD. Now, Harold tells me that these CDs have half the hiss of an LP or a 45 or even an 8-track, which I find hard to believe. Unfortunately, the CDs cost about 9 times as much. In fact, by the time you buy a couple of them CDs, you don't have any money left to be able to afford the CD player. So we're going to show you how to make one using your common household toaster. Now, the first thing you have to do is gut the toaster, just like gutting a fish. And with this toaster, pretty well munged up with old melted cheese, it's going to smell about the same, too. That's not gonna... This might loosen her off a little. Yeah. All right, once you get the heating unit out of there, just put it somewhere safe for later. Because in a couple of weeks, we're going to turn a weed whacker into a combination hairdryer and sideburn trimmer. All right, get back to our CD player. The inside of a CD player, as I understand it, is basically a laser controlled by computer chips soldered to a circuit board. So what I've done is I just crazy glued a bunch of digital clocks to a pie plate. And, of course, you're going to need some kind of a small electric motor to work as a drive to make the CD spin. No problem, we got that covered. And when it comes to the actual laser itself, now these are usually a gallium arsenide solid-state laser, but if by chance you don't have one of those in your tackle box, I think you can just go with a pocket pen light. It's basically the same procedure, and I think imagination beats intimidation any day of the week. So once you've got all that stuff, the important thing here is to get her in there, get it lined up absolutely perfect, get her balanced in there absolutely perfect, and then to make sure nothing ever moves, you want to mount it using the handyman's secret weapon, duct tape. All right, right, there we go. As you can see, I painted her up a little bit, give her the flat black kind of a sporty look, and I've added some control knobs here to give me the control over the volume and the treble and the balance and the melted cheese, what I call Colby noise reduction. And speaking of things that are old and kind of smell funny, I've hooked her up to my own Nord Mendy there as an amplifier. Of course, this has got the tubes in it. I was concerned about the tubes, but I took them down to the variety store here because they got a tube tester in there. And I was trying to test the darn tubes, having a heck of a time with it, and finally I went to the guy and I said, how come the tube tester doesn't work? And he says, because it's a banking machine. Well, that's progress for you. So then I needed some speakers. Well, I decided to go with the homemade style, and I got the wireless hookup on those. I figured if I turn her up loud enough, the sound will get into the speakers. And I started with pricing them. I went down to the stereo store, one of those places where the carpeting across the floor and up the wall and across the window and over the guy's forehead and so forth. And boy, they got speakers in there. They had one speaker had to be 6 feet high. It looked like a coffin. And it would have been once my check bounced. So I just go with the homemade style. We got her all hooked up. I think everything's looking good. Why don't we just pop the CD in there and see how she goes? Oh, that's side A done. If you really like music, you can do the same thing with a 4-slicer, and your songs will play right up to when the fire trucks arrive. Next week, we're going to show you how to turn a waffle iron into a close-and-play record player. But until then, remember, if women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Wonder what raisin bread sounds like. You know, if it's California raisins, they might even sing.
And now it's that time of the show where we expose the 3 words that men find most difficult to say. I don't know. And now, here to prove that point is my Uncle Red and his best friend in the whole wide world, Mr. Dougie Franklin. Letter number 1. Dear experts, for the past 10 years, I spent evenings and weekends restoring a '68 Camaro to mint condition. I invested thousands of hours and many dollars getting it perfect.
Wow, that's a beautiful car, Earl.
That fella ought to be mighty proud. You know, that is a dandy. That's a dandy.
When I was finished, I was overwhelmed by a great feeling of emptiness. Suddenly, I realized that I had wasted an entire decade of my life on a stupid car. 10 precious years gone. My family were gone. What a selfish, blind fool I had been. How can I find meaning in life again? Signed, Despondent.
Does he say if he wants to sell the car?
I don't know.
I think what we're having here with our viewers is what we call mid-car crisis. This fellow needs a little guidance. And one great place to find some words of comfort and advice is in your fortune cookies. I would suggest you get down to the bulk food store there with, say, a 10-gallon pail and just load it right up and sit down in front of one of your favorite soaps and just pick out and get all kinds of words of wisdom all at the same time.
Well, you know, Red, there is another source of wisdom, and one I might add that has a little bit less MSG. You want to know how to live your life? Live by the 10 Commandments. I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I do too, Dougie.
Yeah. Well, so do I. I do too. Thou shalt not kill. I never kill.
No, and of course there's thou shalt not commit adultery.
Well, that, of course, is for, you know, you married types. You know. Then again, there's thou shalt not steal. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And there's the others. How many did we get?
3. So there was killing, adultery, and stealing. And then there's...
Yeah.
Isn't there one about the Sabbath?
There is. Yeah.
Oh, honor thy mother and father. That's what. Honor thy mother and father.
Unless they're anything like my father.
Do unto others as you'd happen to do unto you.
Yeah.
And I think that's number 4. And number 10 is have a nice day.
Yeah. That's a cheerful one. That's, you know, nice.
Yeah. I believe number 9 is if you love something, set it free. If it comes back to you, go for it. And Number 3 is finders keepers.
Oh. Words to live by.
Oh, yeah.
Words
Yeah.
to live by.
Yeah.
How many are we up to now?
9. There's just like one more.
Yeah. It's number 2. What is that? What is that one?
Got it.
Yeah.
It ain't over till the fat lady sings.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, well, I hope that our viewer can get some help out of these great words of wisdom.
Yeah, and if you're going to sell that Camaro, give us a buzz, will you?
It is summer. You have lost your son at the amusement park. He's wearing neon orange, lime green, and bright purple, allowing him to disappear into the crowd.
This is beautiful. Oh, this is first class.
New toy there, Rich?
Oh, boy. I'm sorry, Red. This new telescopic lens is so powerful I couldn't even see. Oh, here, take a look. What do you see?
Great big eyeball. Oh, no, it's a chipmunk. You know, Reg, this might be a little too strong for it to be of any real use to you, you know?
Well, I bought it to hunt from Junior's helicopter. Can't ignore technology, Red. No, sir, now. Watch this. See that acorn on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th branch from the top of that oak tree over there? Watch this. Did I get it? Probably, eh? I bet I did. I bet I did. I bet. Okay. See that rock?
Well, the guys have been having a lot of fun with Junior's used helicopter. But they couldn't find a big enough landing space between any of the trees around the lodge, so they got out the big chainsaw and lopped about 6 feet off each end of the helicopter's rotor blade.
I think that would dramatically alter the flying characteristics, wouldn't it, Uncle Red? I mean, you know, according to my little Bobby Hobby book on how to be an astronaut, I'm just saying that, you know, such a modification, you know, it would significantly just, you know, decrease the lift.
Was that just a lucky guess, or did you hear the crash?
Landed right beside my window. I almost got circumvented by the tail rotor.
That would be no damage at all, I don't think. So now the guys had to figure out whether they should decrease the weight of the unit or increase the speed of the blade and regain the original push.
That's lift. That's vertical lift.
No, not in this case. It's more of a horizontal push, Harold. They fired her up, and the blade was going faster than ever, but the whole helicopter was doing actually more of a sideways than an up. So now the whole forest on the east side of the lodge is exactly 6 feet tall.
So I guess we got a lot more firewood then, huh?
Yeah, and a view. The question is, who wants a lawnmower that cuts your grass to 6 feet and runs on aviation fuel? And that's a dangerous unit. I mean, it came right through the bunch of us. Luckily, none of the guys is over 6 feet tall. At least not anymore.
Yeah, I thought I noticed Moose Thompson had lost a little hair.
And a little forehead. But then a long forehead on Moose is just false advertising anyway. So now the guys are going to maybe convert the thing. They're thinking it over. Maybe make a hovercraft out of her, or a fan boat, or perhaps a 4-man Cuisinart.
You guys are scary when you get together.
Well, Harold, you're scary all by yourself. I've had too much